Hello, I am the Dark Master, and welcome back to the history of Mississippi. Now this episode will be shorter than the previous episodes on the Devonian Carboniferous. This is because sadly, we have a lack of fossil records from the Permian to the late Cretaceous. This is because during the Permian, Mississippi abruptly became mountainous uplands, which are not very good at fossil formation. Why, you may ask? This is because during the Permian, Pangaea, the latest supercontinent, formed. This had a corresponding effect on the oceans, which became a single giant ocean known as Panthalassa. This supercontinent saw an increased drying of the land, which affected life immensely. The early Permian continued the general trend of carboniferous drying, but it was still a wetter world than the later Permian. Primitive synapsids such as cotylosaurs and ophiocodonts were the dominant life forms. However, what is really strange is these herbivores had extremely small heads compared to their couch potato-like bodies, while the ophiocodonts had extremely strong jaws, enabling them to bite off those little heads, and proto-roaches, which were common in those times. The Middle Permian saw the large, sluggish synapsids replaced by the more efficient and faster primitive synapsids, the dinocephalians. These included the largest herbivores of the Paleozoic, the Tonphiencephali, and some of the largest land carnivores of the Paleozoic, ANTEOSAURS. The late Permian saw the most advanced DIAPSIDS arrive. These included the predatory GORGONOPSIAs, the very first of the trend that would be repeated by the much more famous saber-toothed tiger, that trend being the evolution of saber teeth. They hunted the large turtle-like diapsidons, which were one of the most successful synapsids after true mammals. In fact, there is evidence that they may have survived until the early Cretaceous. As you can tell, the synapsids ruled the Permian period, often called the age of mammal-like reptiles. However, they didn't have it all their own way. Anapsids and diapsids both flourished as well. Anapsids inhabited a variety of niches in this period. They included the very first aquatic reptiles, the Mesosaurs, and the massive herbivores, the Parasaurs, that thrived from the Middle Permian to the end of it. Diapsids, in contrast, were relegated to minor roles at this time, with one of the first archosauromorphs, the group that includes the famous dinosaurs, modern birds, and crocodiles, emerging at this time. This was Protosaurus, who was just a really small, fast-running insectivore that probably wasn't the top of the food chain or anywhere near it. Large amphibians, while hit hard by the rainforest collapse, still enjoyed moderate success. Bacteromorphs survived in the form of their own quote-unquote reptiles, like ZYGOSAURUS and Eurypylidae. The reptilomorphs fared better because of their adaptations to dry land in comparison to their true amphibian relatives. They included the first herbivores such as Didactyctes and the heavily armored Chronosuchia, who had developed said armor to defend themselves from pelycosaurs, because they, like the much smaller Siamorpha, were the prey of many larger animals, such as the famous Dimetrodon, probably the only prehistoric animal pre-Mesozoic that a lot of people actually know. This world ended, however, in what is the worst extinction ever to occur. The Permian-Triassic extinction, also known rightfully as the Great Dying, saw the extinction of 95% of all life. Gone were the trilobites, eurypterids, blastoids, and acanthodians. In decline beforehand, they were, but still, their extinction was a severe impact. It was also so bad that insects like cockroaches were affected. Insects, a group that's rarely, if ever, affected by mass extinctions. Also affected were over 2/3 of large amphibians, sauropsids, and therapsids went extinct. All pelycosaurs and non-turtle anapsids went extinct at this time. Why did this happen? Unlike the familiar asteroid impact of the more famous KT extinction, the cause of the Great Dying was much more vague. However, it is now believed to have likely been caused by massive volcanism in the Siberian traps, powered up by the fact that there was just one supercontinent. This extinction event marks the end of the Paleozoic and set up the stage for the Mesozoic. The next period, the Triassic, saw the rise of the dinosaurs, but we will explore that in the next time of the history of Mississippi.